For years, people have been making money off of bets on political disasters coming true. Lately, they're even betting on the likelihood of nuclear war. So, what are these bets? And who is gaining from apocalyptic predictions? As Israel and the US launched an attack on Iran in late February, which quickly spilled into a region-wide war, bettors on prediction market platform Polymarket have been monetizing on the likelihood of a nuclear weapon detonation. In a since-deleted market on the platform, people are betting on the likelihood of a nuclear weapon strike in 2026. But who is gaining from these bets? And is the issue more than ethical? To begin with, prediction markets are online platforms where people place bets on pretty much everything. From how much a Pokemon card would cost, to how many times Elon Musk is going to post on X on a given month, to who will win Best Picture at the Oscars. The most popular prediction markets at the moment are Kalshi and Polymarket, but there are many others. Just these two are worth $11 and $9 billion respectively. Prediction markets have been around for a while, but they really erupted around the 2024 US presidential elections. At the time, if you went to Times Square, you would see giant digital billboards showing live bets that people were placing on the election outcome. Prediction markets have been surging ever since, and bets are becoming more and more political. In recent months, people have been placing bets on the US government shutdown and whether or not the country would attack Iran. Someone on Polymarket notably even placed a bet on whether the US is going to oust Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro hours before it actually happened. The prediction earned the bettor $400,000, but it also raised concerns about insider trading. New York-based Kalshi has prohibited insider trading and has regulations that allow individual users to be tracked and investigated. Polymarket, on the other hand, does not have such policies, and the platform is not even officially approved in the US, but it can be accessed using a VPN. What this means is that basically there is no way to find out who placed that Maduro bet. It is also worth noting that Donald Trump Jr. is currently both an investor and an advisor for Kalshi and Polymarket. Meanwhile, the Trump Media Group, run by the current US president's children, is set to launch its own prediction market platform. The prospect of a nuclear war has been on Polymarket's prediction list for a while now, but the outbreak of war between the US and Israel on one hand and Iran on the other has increased bets on it, reaching almost $244,000. This may seem like a small sum in comparison to other Polymarket predictions, but it caused a huge controversy, and eventually the platform took them down. Part of the backlash came from increased concerns that government and military officials may be using prediction platforms to profit off of geopolitical events. These concerns were renewed after bets that the US would go to war with Iran increased a day before the country launched its coordinated attack with Israel.
There's a suspicious amount of new activity, people making a very specific bet on Friday that we would go to war with Iran on Saturday. Obviously, there are people close to Donald Trump who on Friday knew what was happening on Saturday, and it is very likely, probable even, that the people that placed those bets were people with inside information.
On Thursday, March 5th, Senators Jeff Merkley and Amy Klobuchar introduced a bill that would ban senior government officials such as the president, the vice president, and members of Congress from trading event contracts and limit prediction market activity for senior executive officials. But this bill is unlikely to go far. The Trump administration has backed both Kalshi and Polymarket in a legal battle where individual states, especially those where gambling has been criminalized, are trying to ban prediction markets.